Are you stuck and do you want to know the best alternative endgame farming spots? This video is for you. I've covered the best of the best spots in the entire game, but I've been receiving a lot of questions and comments asking for alternatives if they don't have access to the said spots. So I came up with the top 5 endgame alternative spots and methods that will require 0 MP cost that can solve your issues and possibly save your progress and instead let you gain decent to a great amount of character XP and a lot of archetype XP to set you up for the endgame challenges. I will be suggesting 2 specific builds for the best spots to work, and the first one is the Trickster 0 MP cost setup. Equip the protagonist with the Master Trickster archetype with the skills of Almighty Boost, Arcane Unity, Heat Up, and Diligent Discipline. The protagonist is going to be our main damage dealer in this setup, but if your protagonist is built as magic type, I suggest building Stroll instead. Equip the main Trickster with the best gear that you have, but equipping the Jester's Dagger for the main weapon so we can make synthesis attacks stronger. Don't forget to slot in the Runic Handguard for the free Tarokaja buff when the battle starts. Equip the other party members with the best gears you have and preferably 2 more Tricksters and a single Knight. This will allow us to use the 0 MP cost Miracle Cirque synthesis ability later on. Make sure that one of the party members, aside from the main damage dealer, will equip the Fortune Grasp and Archetypal Ring to maximize the squad battle AXP gains. The second build that I will be suggesting is a Tycoon setup that is made of 3 Tycoons and 1 Warrior, so we can access the Golden Soldier synthesis ability as the main damage dealing skill in our runs. Equip the main Tycoon physical damage dealer with Arcane Unity, Heat Up, Diligent Discipline, and Front Boost. Equip the Tycoon with an Abacus like the Fortune Gods or another Abacus that increases the cost and strength of money skills is suggested. Equip with Gambler's Manual if you have it or another strength boosting accessory. And of course, the Runic Handguard, while equipping the best items you have for the other party members. And don't forget the Fortune Grasp and Archetypal Ring set in one of your party members. Depending on your needs, you can switch between these 2 suggested builds just in case you do not have cash to power up the Tycoon setup and use the 0 MP cost Trickster setup. Make sure that you set the difficulty under easy and you are all set. The Forsaken Tower is more of a mid-game farming spot, and I already covered this in my mid-game farming spots video. However, it can be a great spot still, specifically if you accidentally destroy the Melancholia crystals in the key endgame spots. You will have access to all of the towers at endgame if you engage in the Tower Trials side quest. If this is your first time watching this guide, I highly suggest watching all of my best farming spots guide so you do not get confused, as I will be mentioning a lot of the old spots as we move forward. Proceed to the tower until we reach the floor where the Goblin army spawns, just like in my previous guide. The main difference now is there are skeletons patrolling the key farming area, so take them out first and then start your overworld farming sessions while the Tycoon is equipped. There is no need to mention the level requirement for the next spot since you are pretty much advanced at this point. If you do this consistently in an hour and bad weather is present, we are looking at 54k character XP, 38k archetype XP, 128k mag, and 2.8 million cash. You can see that this spot still provides decent character XP, mag, and money, especially if you want to settle for the Tycoon build setup that I suggested. Pretty nice spot if you have nowhere else to go if you accidentally destroyed all of the Melancholia crystals in the Dragon Temple. Since we all know that other than the best farming spots at endgame are located in the final dungeon, the Dragon Temple is the next big thing players can have when it comes to straight farming. There are 2 best spots that I covered in my previous guide. The spot near the elevator area where you will be dealing with a lot of mod enemies and also plant-like enemies with 2 Melancholia crystals, or the long and wide corridor that leads to the boss area which have 3 Melancholia crystals, and you will be dealing with giant tree enemies and also moth enemies as well. But what if you accidentally destroy the Melancholia crystals in the said areas like many of you experience? The next spot can save your life, which is located in a room next to the first save point in the area. This spot hosts a single Melancholia crystal and spawn moths and large beasts in a decent spawn rate. Just equip the protagonist with a Tycoon and straight farm the enemies here in overworld battles. An hour-long consistent farming under normal weather will net you almost 36k character XP, 25k archetype XP, almost 180k mag, and and 2.2 million Reeve. It may look like the previous spot is better, it just so happens that I've explored the Forsaken Tower spot under the bad weather. This spot will also provide you with a good amount of Magla pills, which is a nice bonus. If you are getting value so far, subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Thank you for your support. But what if you destroy the crystal on this spot as well? Luckily, we do have the next spot. The next spot is located in the intersection of the Dragon Temple, where 2 melancholy crystals can be taken advantage of, and I am pinpointing the location on the screen right now. Another spot where you can straight farm moth and the flower type enemies. Just activate both crystals in this area and let the enemy respawn for you. The distance between the two crystals is much farther compared to the optimal spots, so you will be going back and forth a lot on this one. Under normal weather, this spot can give you 54k character XP, 23k archetype XP, 214k mag, 2.2 million cash, and Magla pills if you need it. But what if you destroy the crystal here? Well, your last chance would be the Melancholy Crystal located at the southern portion of the maze-like area of the temple. This crystal will spawn snake enemies for you to farm. But one thing I hate about this spot is that it can take quite a while for the enemy to respawn, and there is a high chance that you will be damaging the crystal when taking out the enemies. Take this as a bonus spot since I care about you. But what if all crystals in the area were destroyed? It's time to move on to the next spots. The alternate spot is located in the Tower of Insolence, where we will be farming high-level skeletons in squad battles until you can farm them straightforward in overworld battles. So you will be using the builds that I suggested beforehand, and let's use the Trickster setup first. From the save point, head down to the next level and take out the high-level human enemy in a squad battle to clear the area. Your usual strategy is using the 0 MP cost Miracle Circ Synthesis skill to take out the enemies here. After clearing the enemies, head to the lower floor where the Melancholy Crystal is located. Take out the low-level Cyclops and the floating enemies first. And then, you can finally take on the level 67 skeletons that can respawn around the crystals in squad battles. You don't need to stun these skeletons and go straight to squad battles. Access the main damage dealing Trickster in this lineup and use the Miracle Circ again to take out the skeletons fast. If you want to use a Tycoon build that I suggested, let the main Tycoon damage dealer cast the Golden Soldier Synthesis ability and wipe the skeleton, and you are good to go. Each squad battles provides you pretty much a good amount of 929 XP, 405 AXP, 1500 mag, and 444 cash. Fast forward to an hour of farming, that's 165k character XP, 109k archetype XP thanks to the added archetype XP multipliers, 280k mag, and 79k cash. After doing this for a while, you will be reaching level 70, so you can finally beat every skeleton in overworld battles. Before doing so, make sure that the Tycoon is equipped to increase your cash gains. Consistent overworld farming in an hour will get you a whopping 238k character XP, 84k archetype XP, 541k mag, and 1.8 million cash. This spot is pretty great, especially if you want to train for the second to the last dungeon, which is the Skybound Avatar. However, what if you already got yourselves into Skybound Avatar and can't go back? Worry not, my lords and ladies, as we do have one final saving grace. A lot of you ask me what to do if you already invested a lot of time progressing in the Skybound Avatar. This spot will save you a ton of headaches. On the upper floors of the Skybound Avatar near the boss area, there's a maze-like area with a lot of doors. I'm pinpointing the location on the screen right now, and you need to solve the puzzle in the area first before you can access this method. Assuming that you've completed the door puzzle in the area, notice that there's a save point nearby, and this is going to be your starting point in this method. Access the Trickster build once again, or the Tycoon build if you manage to stash away a lot of cash already. I normally use the Tycoon build here since it is much stronger build, so runs will be faster. Near your starting point, your first target would be the Cyclops. Stun it and engage in a squad battle. The strategy is simple. If you are dealing with multiple enemies, cast the Golden Soldier Synthesis ability to take the targets and wipe the remaining ones with a Gold Rush attack. If you are dealing with a single enemy fight, use the Gold Rush attacks only. But if you are using the Trickster setup, make sure that the stronger Trickster will cast the Miracle Circ ability. After the first battle, head to the right and there's an intersection and take the path to your left. Head through the door and wait around 3 to 5 seconds and an undead monk will teleport to you, which you can stun right off the bat. Take it out in a squad battle to gain 1311 character XP, XP, and tons of Archetype XP. You can get as much as 17 hero leaves of light per fight, and that's a lot. Head to the nearest Chimera enemy and take it out in a squad battle. After the fight, the last target in this method is another undead monk, just like the one you took out before the Chimera, and usually, this enemy is lurking in the corridor near the save point. Head towards where you started by circling back while keeping your eyes peeled for the last undead monk. Take it out while on your way and reset the run by entering the nearby door near the save point. Access the door and return, and notice that the key targets respawn. Now I don't have an hour-long calculation for this method, however, it is clear to see that this is the best path on this list, and this is going to be your best chance in grinding levels and currencies, especially if you're stuck in the Skybound avatar. As mentioned, I made sure that the key builds in this guide will require 0 MP cost to eliminate MP consumption issues when grinding. Use all of these spots before progressing to the final dungeon and you are good to go. But if you are curious what's the best of the best endgame farming spots, or you just started playing the game and want to know the best beginner tips, click on these videos and I will catch you on the next one.